Shalom. Shalom. Let's see if I can start doing like that. Just check and see if I could be heard. Shalom, shalom to the hopeful elect. First and foremost, let us give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Racha, Kodash. Double honor to our elders and the apostles of the great millstone. And to the hopeful elect, to you Akim out there doing the work. Hopeful elect Akim, peace and salutations. And also to the Akwak that's tuned in, or that will tune in, being in order as commanded by the Holy Spirit. To you I say peace and salutations, endurance and strength, and ultimately faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and His word. It's your fellow servant Shemaiah out of the GMS Orlando camp. And we're going to go into being vigilant today. I was watching a clip. One that Akim had put in the post, on the comment board, and it was pretty much going into. I'm gonna play it so you can get an idea of what's being said and what's going on. Okay. And it should be pretty loud this morning, when I woke up and I saw it. I believe it's from one of the head brothers of the camp. I could only imagine, because brothers be really diligent, man. Brothers be really diligent, brothers be really seeking, brothers be really watching. So when I played it this morning, it was like, damn. It's not like it's anything that we didn't know, because we're pretty much expecting everything. We've been told via the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, from his men, from his prophets, his true prophets, starting with our elders and the apostles and bishops of great millstone, the times that we're living in and how to be prepared for it. All right, so I'm gonna turn this around and we're gonna get started in today's lesson. All right, be vigilant, expecting the unexpected. The reason why I label it as unexpected is because the majority of people, they're not watching. Even those that are supposed to be seers, those that are supposed to be or act as if they're prophets, in totality, they're really false prophets, right? Because they won't warn you about what the MOTB is, what it really is, right? They won't tell you who's the true enemies of the Lord are and why the Lord is not going to save them. Why the Lord is only, they'll tell you things like salvation is for everybody. Their women, even their men are out of pocket, out of order, fulfilling their personal lust. So, happiness and a good time is all they're looking for. And the enjoyment of knowing that they're Israelites, which really is a mark on their back. And it's a mark from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. If you're an Israelite, the Lord's not asking you to have fun and party, and or He's not telling you, to enjoy the thought of being an Israelite. Not even that you have power. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start with that. Because this is our hope. This is our ultimate hope. Luke chapter 10, and I'm going to start at verse 17. It says, and the 70 returned again with joy, saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning falling from heaven. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Not see? And that's the hope that we have in understanding, but it gets deeper than that. It's not just that the Lord gave us the ability to, the tongue that the gainsayers cannot resist. The hypocrites cannot resist. The scoffers and mockers cannot resist. But the possibility, and Lord willing, the actual promise of being, it's going to tell you. It's going to tell you. Let me continue. He going to tell you. How Shai going to tell you. He said, notwithstanding, in this rejoice not, that, that we don't, nothing can hurt us or harm us. Knowing the truth, spiritually nothing can harm us. Once you've been quickened and you understand the truth and you stand on the word, you believe and trust in the word of Yahweh Shai, you get sleep, you get your rest in, you understand, you expect the unexpected. What majority of people don't really see happening or about to happen. If you trust in the word of Yahweh Shai, you already trust and know and believe it's going to come true. The good and the bad. Right? The beautiful and the ugly. But for the elect, all day is going to be Romans 8 and verse 28. All things work to the good for those that love the Most High. His elect. The ones that Yahweh Shai has manifested the name of the Heavenly Father unto. Their names unto. But it gets deeper. Again, verse 20, it says, notwithstanding, in this rejoice not, that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven. That's the whole point of all this. That's the hope, the ultimate hope for the elected Israel. That our names be written in heaven. Right? That we receive salvation and enter into the Lord's glorious light. Those chariots. The salvation, the beginning, the beginning of salvation is now. The being woken up, being quickened with the Holy Spirit of Yahweh Shai, having this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, being stable in a time where things are falling apart, being a pillar. Adonai Ratazah, we be a part of that number. That elect number, okay? But it's not about what we do, but it's about what the Lord is doing, Because ultimately, if it was up to us, we could find a lot of ways to fuck off our time. But the Lord has chosen us to do something way more important. To you elect, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, West Indians, and Haitians, we're getting closer and closer. Be vigilant. Expect the unexpected. And that's not just in bad things. Of course, the majority of our people expect doom and gloom. Right? The majority of our people expect doom and gloom. But the Lord got more than just doom and gloom coming. The Lord got miracles that's about to pop off. Salvation at an instant. Okay? The Lord got miracles about to pop off. People are not going to be able to hurt you, harm you. Of course, we are living in hell. The majority of people around us are fucking demons. This is fucking hell for an Israelite, man or woman. This is hell. People don't understand our power. They don't understand our God. And even worse, they try to deceive the world into believing that our God don't exist, that he's something else. All right, they try to deceive our people, try to deceive the elect into believing, there's a fucking place called hell, where you're gonna burn forever. And I love to bring this out that with a brother, the head brother at the camp, Nahalia, loves to bring this out, and it makes all the sense in the world. We're given at the best, on the average basis, between the ages of 50 to 80 years old of living on the earth. Average, at best, I would say. And out of those 80 years, you sin, or you've done some sins, whether in ignorance or in knowing. And because of that, the Lord gonna let you burn forever in a lake of fire. Preposterous. What did Shaquat like to say? You call it, it's diabolical. That's diabolical thinking. That's a diabolical doctrine, man. That shit ain't true. But long story short, man, I'm gonna read it again. Luke chapter 10, and I'm sorry, verse 18. He says, and he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning falling from heaven. All right? The devil gonna come down with great wrath. Revelations 12 and 12. He'll come down with great wrath because he know his time is short. He said, behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. And that goes back to Genesis. The Lord said that the devil gonna eat the dust of his the dust. Matter of fact, let me get it. Lucky, bear with me. Genesis 3 and verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. All right. So between Esau and Edom and the children of Israel, there's going to be enmity between us. Even though Esau tried to deceive, and even the mercies, the sure mercies of Esau Edom are cruel. I was watching a clip the other day where these motherfuckers put on an iron suit with spikes sticking out the iron suit to jump inside of the ocean, surrounded by sharks, so the sharks could come up and try to bite them, and get stuck on the damn suit. They could care less about the beast. That's why the whole world is going to be at peace once this damn devil is taken out. But let me get back to the point. He said, Genesis 3 and 15 again, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed, the seed of the children of Israel, and the seed of the wicked, Esau Edom. Right. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. All right. So we gonna take the latter end. What's that? Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 7 through 9. You know, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Genesis chapter 25, you know, Jacob, you know, when he was fighting Esau, whooping that ass, Esau trying to run away. And Jacob grabbed his heel coming out of the womb. Imagine that, man. Really, sit back and imagine two babies going at it. Two different nations inside the same womb, right? Going at it. And then one trying to, you know, escape, and the other one grabbing his heel as they're coming out together. Yeah, fucking twins, man. Jacob like, bring your ass here. But it was predicted that the older gonna serve the younger. It was prophesied that the older gonna serve the younger. And that's what all this is about. That's the Lord's doing his pleasure. This is what the Lord orchestrated to happen. All right. And what this devil trying to do, he's trying to surveillance the whole world to pretty much to enter into Jacob's trouble, to continue in his what they call it, his perpetual hatred toward his brother Jacob, toward his seed that we were just reading in Genesis 3 and 15, the seed which comes out of the man. Anyway, let me go to this. I want to start here. Vigilant. Well, no, I'm gonna say I like to do this sometimes. I go into a KJV based on the title of the lesson. So I went to KJV, expecting the unexpected. AI overview. It says the concept of expecting the unexpected in the King James Version of the Bible focuses on remaining spiritually prepared for the Most High's sudden interventions. You know, it highlights that divine plans often exceed human imagination and arrive when least expected, all right? And the Lord has an expected end for his elect. Victory, right? Victory over the mark, the M-A-R-K. Victory over the judgments coming to this place. Victory over the famine. Victory over the sword. Victory over all the things this devil's coming up with. So I'm about to play that. I'm probably gonna take a walk on this back street and play it because it might sound better. Right? Let me get a couple of precepts, because I've been talking. So let me get a couple of precepts. One is in Proverbs chapter 3, starting verse 25. It says, be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. For the Lord shall be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken. Okay? Stability. You know? The word of the Lord's going to send his angels. Okay? The angels of the Lord encampeth around those that fear him. And you talk about spiritual power, you talk about superhero powers. You don't believe that the Lord, from the angels, from the chariots, can intervene spiritually in any way, in any matter, to give you that expected end that he's been saying? Deliverance, victory over death, victory over our enemies. The Lord didn't put us in this fight for us to lose. The Lord didn't put us in this fight for us to lose. You know what I mean? The Lord controls all things. He said he will even make our enemies to be at peace with us. Those that please you, how about you, my shot? He will even make your enemies. And go ahead, you got it. For what? Because your ass gonna be patient? Motherfucker. Anyway. But yeah, the devil is coming up with all type of ways to lock shit down at the end of the day. Shalom, shalom, Akim, Aqua, shalom. Call like how about Shema Shop Rakatah. of all, Yahweh, Shalom, Aqua, Shalom, Yahweh, Shem, Barakatah. May the blessing be upon your house. And to the beautiful brother, Maya Ka'ala, 144, K-Ba, Kohala, Yahweh, Shem, Barakatah. Barakatah to y'all. Okay, the Lord got our back, man. At the end of the day, the Lord's not going to let this devil touch us. If we are the elect, Lord willing. And you know, even with the expectation, you can read Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3. Read Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3. Because this knowledge, this wisdom, this understanding is all we got to stand on. And that's all that we need at the end of the day. Write it down, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3. Start at verse 1. The expected end for those that even, you know, this devil get a chance to, you know, to martyrize. If you become a martyr for the word of Yahweh Shah, it's going to look like a certain way to people of the earth that don't have the eyes to see, the ears to hear. You know? But you'll be in good hands. We're gonna be in good hands at the end of this thing. Lord willing, we be a part of that elect number. Strive for that, man. With fear. Again, Proverbs 3:25. Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when they coming, because their destruction is coming. So he gonna come down with great wrath, doing whatever he can to hold on to the little bullshit that he got. I did a video through the Spirit and Power of Yahweh Shema Shah last night. This bastard is losing power, man. How many? They say like 240. I'll say between 204 and 240, because sometimes, you know, that spirit of this dyslexic bullshit be on me, and I be getting numbers backwards and shit. But so before, between 204 and 240 individuals that the government had, that the city of Chicago had on what they call them, bands, wristbands or ankle monitors. 204. Between 204 and 240 of them just disappeared. Like all of a sudden. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? And they let these people go on purpose, man. So the devil can make money off of people's misery. And if you get people that's doped up on these drugs and all this shit, these people ain't gonna care about their damn life. They don't care about shit. They don't care about themselves. You know, but yeah, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh is here. Verse 26, for the Lord shall be thy confidence and shall keep thy foot from being taken. Okay, and that's what we're hoping for. That's a part of faith. That's a part of faith, that our foot don't be taken, that we can stand strong. And we're doing that right now through the Spirit and Power of Yahweh Shema Shah, standing boldly for the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. While these wolves in sheep clothing deceiving people into believing that the Lord didn't give us his name, that we don't have the proper names to call upon. Right? Verse 26, for the Lord shall be thy confidence and shall keep thy foot from being taken. Like King David. King David said, you know, he ain't gonna put his trust in his sword, he ain't gonna put his trust in his bow. He ain't gonna put his trust in his shield, but he gonna put his trust in Yahweh Shema Shah. Isaiah chapter 10, verse 20. That's the idea, that's the mindset of the elect. That we will no longer stay on those that oppressed us, right? Roughly paraphrasing. But we will stay, which means trust. We will put all of our trust, all of our eggs in one basket, and that basket is called Yahweh Shema Shah. All of our trust. Money. When you think about money, they call it a trust. You have a trust fund. We put all of our trust fund is in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. All of our trust is in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. Every penny. Every penny. But yeah, that was beautiful. With that, I want to go to get this precept about being vigilant. And then I'm going to play that. Matter of fact, no, I'm going to play that right now. Because I think this is a good little spot for me to to play that without it being so much in the background, so much going on in the background. Here we go. Duck off over here.
Okay, this is pretty bad. The world will move towards an AI surveillance state.
I feel like that's already happening.
I think it's pretty obvious. Yeah.
What does that mean in reality for the average person? Because we're seeing some of these big companies like OpenAI and Anthropic all sort of signing up to government military surveillance projects. What does that mean for the average person?
Right. So the average person, it means two things. It means digital ID and digital currency.
Okay.
So what that will allow is the government to basically monitor everything you do online and control all financial transactions. It can basically program your bank account. So like you can't buy cigarettes or you can't buy drugs. And this will allow the government basically categorize everyone and put everyone into a certain database to monitor that person. And once you're able to categorize everyone, you are able to use AI to predict their behavior.
Isn't this what goes on in some parts of the world?
This is what goes on in China. And that's how I know about this.
How does it work in China?
Well, in China, we all have digital ID. If you want to access anything in China, you need your digital ID. So if you want to open a bank account, you have to use a digital ID. If you want to use any e-payments, you have to use digital ID. If you want to use a phone, you have to use digital ID. Okay, so everyone's part of this national database, and then what this allows government to do is basically monitor everything you do, because basically, depending on how you buy things, I can then extrapolate to figure out your behavior, and then I can figure out your thinking, right? And then I can create incentives in order to guide and control your behavior.
So in China, can they see everything that you do?
Yes, they can.
Messages you send,
Everything.
payments you make.
Everything. Everything you do online is being recorded and it's being inputted into the database to figure out who you are, what you want, and how to control you. And they think this is progress, by the way.
Box.
Okay.
You hear that? I'm gonna play it again during this walk and talk. But it's all back to Esau Edom controlling everything. Wow, this dude's still alive. I remember this dude. Yeah. Wow. But back to the point at hand. That is wild, man. Focus, Somalia. We're in that time where we have to be vigilant. Because this devil is locking shit down. He wants total control. Let me get a precept. Matter of fact, before I get a precept, I want to expound on this predictive behavior thing they got going on. It says predictive behavior meaning. Oh, y'all just had an AI overview. Now y'all saying y'all can't generate an AI overview right now? Y'all just had it. That's crazy. Just like that, huh? Predictive behavior modeling. What is predictive behavior? That's fucking crazy. I'll take this. People also ask, what is predictive behavior? It says, predictive behavior modeling is the science of applying mathematical and statistical techniques to historical and transactional data in order to predict the future behavior of customers. And in a sense, the same thing goes for getting a job. They got a thing called an assessment test, right? The assessment test, when you get a job, they give you this assessment test that asks you questions over and over again. Sometimes they ask you 2 or 3 times to see if you're gonna stand on business with what you say yes or no to, right? But during these tests, it's their way of understanding how you operate, the things that you will do, the things that you won't do, according to how you how you perceive or how you operate. You know, this it's intel, pretty much. It's the FBI or the CIA, a digital FBI or CIA situation, you know, where they get intel on every individual data, through data. And what they're gonna do with that, they're gonna set up a system to where you can get this or you can't. They're gonna regulate you pretty much. That's what it's boiling down to. Them regulating your needs, your wants, your ins, and your outs. If y'all don't mind, I gotta take care of something right quick, so give me 1 minute. Wow, boy, that smell is something serious. Salaki, give me 1 minute. What up, man? All right. You already know. Yes, sir. We connected. The water and Shalom from the Aqua. Call like Yahabashim Yahshua. Princess. Call like Yahabashim Yahshua. Our praise, glory, and honor be to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Yahweh Shah. Okay, you heard the commentary of let me see who was that again. That was that was Professor J-I-A-N-G.
AI surveillance state.
I think that's James.
Yeah, what does that
John,
mean in reality for the average person?
Professor John, you know,
These big companies like OpenAI
giving us an insight on what Esau Edom is doing. You know, they try to set up the same system that's been set up in China. And China got everything down pat where, you know, they say you can't do a damn thing if your so-called credit score, you know, isn't up to par. If you're not moving properly, you know, your finances are necessarily troubled, you know, in a sense that's how you want to put it. Wind kicking in. I don't know if it's out. Please don't let it rain. Not yet. But that's a predictive behavior. Predictive behavior is being monitored. Another quote that I looked up is predictive behavior assessment. Okay, and there's three different, or it gives us a total of 6 different ways that it works. Okay, AI overview, it says the predictive index, or PI, behavioral assessment is a popular, scientifically valid workplace personality test. It takes about 6 minutes to complete and is used by employers to measure an individual's natural workplace drives and communication styles. The first is, it says it measures 4 primary behavior drives. One is dominance. It's how you handle power, control, and challenges. All right. So they want to know, how do you delegate? How do you what do you call it? When you make an elect decision, you know, how do you pressure? How do you handle you know, rebuke, I guess you could say, or just how you handle pressure, right? And that's why the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Shah is key, especially in these days of time. Because the elect is not going to crack under any of the pressure. Like Yahweh Shah didn't crack under any of the pressure. Okay, for a moment, he had a weak moment. We all going to have our weak moments, you know, no doubt. You know, but ultimately, the spirit of Yahweh Shema being in us and upon us is going to be the Lord taking over. And that's what we really going to need at the end of the day. We're going to need Yahweh Shema to take full control of the job of the wheel. You're going to need Yahweh Shema to take full control of the wheel of our minds, right? Of our hearts. You know, so we don't focus on the things that surround us. At the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. That the Lord take over the will, that we are spiritually endowed with the Holy Spirit of Yahweh Shema. That's pretty much what encompasses us. Patience. It says your need for consistency, stability, and a steady pace. All right? Being as pilgrims upon the earth, we already got the attitude of losing everything. You know, that beautiful scripture that goes into how we're not looking to the things in our past, but we're looking to the things that's ahead of us, which ultimately is the kingdom. Ultimately, it's the kingdom. Because all this shit is about to fall down. London Bridge is falling down. This bridge of wickedness is about to fall down. It's collapsing. So we need chariots. We need to get up out of here. We don't need to take no bridge. We're sojourners. This place is not our rest. You know, and only the elect understand that. And they're not trying to seek any rest here. We put our rest in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, trusting in his word, trusting in his men, because without trusting in the words of the Lord's true prophets, how many of you would have taken that doggone jump shot? How many of us would have taken that damn jump shot? And Lord knows, you know, would have been X'd out. And it says formility. Your need for rules, structure, and detail. And Yahweh Shem Yahshua provides us with all of that, the rules, the structure, the detail. Now it says for employers what employers use it for. Hiring, to match a candidate's innate drives against the behavior. Well, I care less about that really. Right? It makes me want to pull up a precept. In Matthew chapter 10, it says, verse 16, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. All right? We know we're in this wicked man system. We're behind enemy lines. Every opportunity this devil get, he's going to test your wits. All right? We're talking not only about the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, but we're talking about the spiritual demon Satan as well. He tried Job. He asked the Lord if he could. It's just that he has the spiritual demon Satan has a physical counterpart who he does most of his working through, who he does mostly all of his work through. You know, and this bastard has control of the earth through Esau Edom. You know, and his main thing is to accuse the brethren before the Most High, to find every fault and every mistake he can to keep us from receiving that glory. But it's too late. Yahweh Shah already paid the price. Yahweh Shah already paid the price, man. So it's no fail. It's no fail. Starting with the elect. All of Israel gonna be okay, but starting with the elect, there's no such thing as failure. Right, but again, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves, like Yahweh Shah was. Wise as serpents. They're gonna have words. They're gonna have those sharp arrows. You know, those darts, right? The Lord said they spit arrows. Matter of fact, let me get it. Damn, it's already 2 o'clock. Yeah. Psalms chapter 64. Starting at verse 4, it says, now if I'm open it up, starting at verse 1, it says, to the chief musician, a psalm of David, hear my voice, O God, and my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Fear nothing, man. Fear none of these things that are to come upon the earth. In Matthew 24, it tells us that there's going to be wars and rumors of war. You know, insurrection. When you go to 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and 16, you know, invading homes. All of these things are coming upon the earth for the elect's sake. And that's how you gotta look at it. These things are coming upon the earth for the elect's sake. The Lord is about to shake up the world. He says that in 2nd Ezra 16 that they should get put, when they get put out of our houses, then there shall be known who the Lord's chosen are. Many are called, but few are chosen. When we start getting kicked out of our homes and things of that nature, then it's gonna be then the fire, then the heat, everything that we have been going through is gonna be found out who's turned into gold or who's gonna get burnt up during this trial. All right. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. This is our prayer. Who whet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, you know, their words of deception. That's all this devil really got besides, you know, the sword. But that sword ain't gonna do nothing to, you know, to the elect that's gonna maintain. That's gonna get up out of this shit. Oh, call halal how about Shah? Can y'all see that? Something told me to go back. If y'all don't see it, that thing say 144K, 2019. That's 2019 Volkswagen. It say 144K on that thing right there. Let me see if I could. Nah, yeah. Is it gonna big up? It's gonna big up a little bit. $144K. No, I ain't gonna spend too much time on Salaki. Hey man. Oh, how about you, Shah? I don't know why. Some just told me to go back and look at the price tag. And it wasn't even a price tag. Well, it's a price tag, but it's the year. And it said 144K on it. Call halal, how about you, Shah? Verse 4, it says, okay, they're bitter words, man. The deception, their lies. The only thing they got besides that is the weapon, but it's not gonna harm the elect. The elect is gonna see the destruction of the wicked, as it's written. The downfall of the wicked is gonna be in our eyes. The Lord wants the elect to give a testimony in the kingdom of what they seen, what they witnessed, well, what occurred during the downfall of Babylon the Great. You know? And we're testifying now because it's all prophecy. Our word is our bond. Our word is the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Adon Ratazah. Continuing to say, they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? Right? But you got, what they call them, whistleblowers. The scriptures say that their own tongue shall fall upon them. They got people that's working for them that have family members. Loved ones, that say, hey man, you know, ain't that in the Bible? Don't that lead to the MOTB? Isn't that written in Revelation 13 and 16? And people are being warned. Are you watching? Are you taking the word of Yahweh Shah serious now? Are you understanding the time that we're in? Expecting the unexpected, being vigilant. Preparing spiritually for the intervention of Yahweh Shah on your behalf. to the faithful. Thank you. Verse 6, they search out iniquity. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep, sitting at their round table, their square table, their pyramid-shaped table, whatever table it is they fucking sit at, talking shit, setting up traps and snares, you know, trying to get people to, you know, be a part of this system. Matter of fact, I wanted to get that. But before I get that, let me get verse 7. It says, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. Yep. All that see them shall flee away. You know, and the Lord has shot at them. Their own tongue is falling upon themselves. They're telling on themselves. They're giving the warning. Right. Speaking of, let's go here. I'll look this up as well. In the AI overview, I looked up, does America have a system where everything can be recorded for Homeland Security? That's not what I wanted. Before I put that, let's go here. This is what I want. That quote that was said by one of the guys. That quote, you will own nothing and be happy. Right? It says the phrase "you will own nothing and be happy" originated from the 2016 essay published by the WEF, written by Danish politician Ada Auken. It was designed as a what-if thought experiment, imagining a circular economy where human needs are provided as free on-demand services rather than products you have to purchase, maintain, and throw away. So it's a recycling. It's like a recycling situation where everybody uses everything depending on what they want. It's like they're trying to have it. They're trying to be God. Whenever you want to go somewhere, whenever you want to do something, we're gonna keep you in shape. We're gonna keep you, you know, you're not gonna, you know, we're gonna keep population control. We're gonna make sure you can't have no babies between this age and that age. That's what this damn devil is trying to do, man. And that's what the people want. You got people in Sweden right now taking the MOTB. And I believe it's somewhere. I was listening to a brother last night, or one of the elders last night. And no, not Cuba. I had a friend that was from there. What's that place? It's Southern America, Southern America somewhere. Honduras. They're going into that right now. That they are getting set up for the MOTB, taking the MOTB. This shit is real, man. This shit is real. Where we at? 49? Solomon, okay. So with that, let's say the utopian view, access over ownership. It says, in its most positive interpretation, this idea envisions a sustainable sharing economy where goods are voluntarily shared or rendered instead of owned in this framework. So it's a major recycling bin where everybody uses the same products. It reminds me of that movie. It's a movie that came out back in like 2000 something. Probably even before then. I think it came out before The Matrix. It was called Equilibrium. You know, there was no ownership over anything. Y'all get a chance to find that movie, check it out. It's kind of a B-rated movie, but the thought that goes behind it, you know, is pretty much the world that they're trying to bring forth. It says no financial burdens. You never have to worry about the maintenance costs. Depreciation or environmental impact of owning big ticket items like cars or appliances. One world, this is the new world order, a one world government. Time to pursue passions. Freed from financial weights of traditional ownership, people are hypothetically free to focus on self-fulfillment, family, and community. Of course, only thing is you gotta get a CHIP put inside your head or in your fucking your body. That's the only difference. You'll never own your own life anymore. Your body won't be controlled by the Most High anymore. It'll be surveillance and monitored by Esau Edom, so-called white man, through technology. That's all he's trying to say. You know, the Lord no longer have control over you. That's what it boils down to. And the majority of the people, they're not controlled by Yahweh Shemashai anyway. The majority of the people right now today are controlled by their lust, by their flesh. Controlled by their flesh, man. So, of course, when Esau Edom push this dog on the agenda, the majority of the people are going to try to take it. And as soon as this devil think that he got everything in control, the Lord going to stop this nigga from eating. As soon as he think his belly is full, the Lord going to be like, you had enough. And the Lord going to scare the shit out this motherfucking devil. When he pop up through the sky. 2nd Ezra chapter 13. Because they don't believe the Lord coming back. They don't believe the Lord coming back. Let me see if I get another precept. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. Seeing then that ye walk. No, I'm going to start at verse 12. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. For whatsoever doeth make manifest is light. Wherefore he saith, like it's written, nothing done in the dark, nothing done in secret, shall go. Everything done in secret shall be uncovered. Roughly paraphrasing. There's nothing that's done that shall be hid. The Lord is revealing everything. That's how you hold a proper court hearing. That's how you hold a proper court hearing. By letting everything be put in the light. And that's what Esau Edom can't do in this world. It's money, greed. It blocks all 100% equity and justice from occurring in the earth. Because money, greed, prestige, right? The fear of the sword. People don't want to become a number. They want to up their numbers, right? They don't want to become another statistic. And they want to watch their statistic numbers grow. 45,100. Oh, that's cool. 500. Fiat. I don't fucking like orange though. Who the fuck like orange? Anyway, it's a for whatsoever doeth make manifest is light. We are the light. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashah, we are the light, man. Our candle is lit. The truth is being exposed, man. And the Lord got his men bring it to the forefront to warn you, elected Israel. Wake up out. It's time to wake up out of sleep. It's time to wake up out of sleep. Salvation or redemption draw closer, or is nigh as closer than it has ever been. Right? We're really about to go home. Alam Ratazah. No longer having to deal with the bullshit. No longer having to deal with disorder. People being out of order, your children being out of order, your wives being out of order. No longer having to deal with people. Satan out here working hard. Call like you lie, yeah. Shalom. Trust in True Jacksonville. Shalom. Yahweh Shema Shabrakatah. Trust you. Good to hear from you, brother. The brother of war. Or the brother Tawa Shah Moth. You know? Shining light of truth. Right? Continue when it says, see that, I'll say, awake thou that sleepeth, and arise from the dead, and Yahweh Shah HaMashiach shall give thee light. Yeah, this is Yahweh Shah's light, man. You know, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, telling the truth, man, the 100% unadulterated truth, whether they're here for best, sparing none. Sparing none. Our enemies are going into captivity, y'all. They about to be put under our foot, starting with Esau Edom. That serpent, man. About to go down. Verse 15, it says, See then that ye walk circumspect, not as fools, but as wise. Circumspect meaning watching everything that's happening around us, everything that's going down, everything that's going on around us. Being vigilant. Right, it says, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is, and be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit. Right? That's what I don't know, that's what we want to be, man. We want to be filled with the Spirit, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Shema Shah, how to conduct ourselves in these times, for real, man. The examples are written in the scriptures they're written aforetime for our learning. That we get the understanding as we are here going through the trials and tribulations before all hell actually breaks loose. Before it all falls down. While people trying to build up their life, trying to fix their credit report. You trying to fix your, imagine a motherfucker trying to fix their credit report just so it can go on go on a CHIP. And now these goofies, they spend all this time fixing up their credit report just so they can get CHIP. And that's it. They're wasting their time trying to build up their riches in Babylon the Great, but they're not praying, they're not reading, they're not studying to make themselves approved to the Lord. Not to this damn white man, or any man for that fact. The Lord is keeping them away from getting to know him. Look at this shit. I got a question though. Why is there a ring around your head? That's a fake picture. That ring is supposed to be an afro. Same thing with this. That ring around your head is supposed to be an afro. But y'all said it was something there. Even this dude looking like he dead. Lies of Esau Edom. That building is not going to be around too much longer. That building, all the lies that Esau Edom had put out here, that shit about to be taken down. Call Halayim La Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. Lunch specials. Just probably going to see what they got over there. Lunch specials. Monday through Sunday. I might stop by over there and see what they got. What time is it? 2 o'clock. I gotta get back to the damn station, man. Let me see if I got one more piece up. The times of evil, ill times, bad times. Proverbs 28:5. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. Yeah, man, these people not seeking Yahweh Shema Shah. They're not understanding the judgments of the Lord. And they keep on putting their foot where it don't belong. They keep on putting their heart and they trust in what it's not supposed to be in. The Lord don't care about your fucking feelings, your emotions, what you think, how you believe things should go. Because you constantly disrespecting the Lord. What is he supposed to care about what you got going on? You constantly rejecting the Lord. And you think he got to care about what you got going on. He don't got to say so in your life. He's giving you over to your lust. You can have it. Bon appetit. You're going to throw it all up. You're not going to be able to enjoy your, not going to be able to enjoy it. Better is the poor that walketh in his uprightness than he that is perverse in his ways. Though he be rich, right? Whoso keepeth the law is a wise son, but he that is a companion of righteous men shameth his father. He that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. Yeah, all those that's dealing unrighteously, everything that they get is gonna be for the elect, man. It's gonna be for you elect brothers, sisters, you Akim and you Aqua. You're gonna receive the blessing. It's gonna be for you to inhabit the earth. The meek shall inhabit the earth. Okay? It's gonna be for you to have the riches and the abundance of this world. Through Yahweh Shah. Anyway, hope this lesson is edifying to the hopeful elect. And Lord willing, I get a chance to get up with y'all later on. Adon Ratazah. With that, we're gonna close out, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rachakodash. Double honor to our elders and apostles of the great millstone, and to your hopeful elect. Endure, endure, endure. Yahweh, Yahweh Shah, Ratazah, endure. Till next time, Kwam Yasharallah, Wa Abba, Abba.